Don't tell me you want to invest and you don't have a budget. Most people skip this step. It's so hard to know what you don't know. I'm going to share with you guys my credit score. I know we want to get through things quickly and that a lot of times it can feel like we're behind. That is when you are able to start making moves. To be honest, I didn't have money. First of all, I want to be very clear. You want to be in an area that is, I have monthly reporting, I have yearly reporting. It's 100% possible to buy a house without having a credit score. You follow that thing like your life depends on it. And be moving on to the next step before there's absolutely no excuse for why we are not able to learn something today. In today's video, I'm breaking down the different systems that made buying 4 properties in 14 months possible. Welcome to Glowing Together. Building generational wealth isn't about how fast you can buy. It's about the systems that you build that will allow you to keep going. It's not from height. It's from education, consistency, and planning. The first system that we built or used didn't involve money. It was education. We spent time learning how real estate actually works before even submitting a single offer. I know we want to get through things quickly and that a lot of times it can feel like we're behind. You just need to make sure that we're taking the necessary steps to continue to learn. Your education is going to compound before your money does, especially when you consider the different mistakes you can make along the way and how costly those can be. And so we want to avoid those as much as possible. Of course, in life, things happen and there are going to be unexpected risks. But what we can do is try to prepare for those risks and to mitigate those as much as possible. So what did that learning look like? I mean, I know it's so hard to know what you don't know. Everybody always tells you that you should get into real estate, you should get into stocks, you need to learn about, all these different things, life insurance, but they don't always tell you where to get that information. Everything that I learned about real estate, stocks, investing, I learned from the internet for free. The same way that you're sitting here watching this video, this is the same thing I did years ago as a college student. I was learning, I was soaking up as much information as possible. Each piece of information builds upon each other, and eventually everything will come together and it will click for you. That is when you are able to start making moves. I personally wanted to start learning about these things while I was in college because, to be honest, I didn't have money. So it's not like I could really do anything at that time, but I knew eventually I would have some money and I needed to know what to do with it. That preparation has led me to where I am now and has led me to be able to be a part of all these different real estate opportunities and investing and maxing out, 401ks and things like that. So make sure that we know all of our options so that we can make the best decisions for ourselves and put us in the best position to win. The tools that I would recommend you use if you're balling on a budget would be number one, YouTube. So if you're on this video, you're already doing a good job. Number two, I would use AI. With the AI that you use to ask your questions, I would be consistent with it because they start to get to know you and they get to know your information and give you more information that you may need, that you maybe weren't even thinking of. Try to make sure you branch out. Don't be stuck in the past. You don't have to put every single bit of information about yourself in those tools, but you can use them as a tool to find out what you need to know. I can't tell you the amount of work that ChatGPT has saved me. We live in a day and age of information and it's all accessible and free, so take advantage of it. There is absolutely no excuse for why we are not able to learn something today. If you want to learn it, there are resources. Two personal favorite channels of mine would be Earn Your Leisure and Bigger Pockets. And they have so many different videos already on their channels about these topics. They also offer different, educational programs and things like that you can take part in. Make sure you invest in yourself first. So when you're educating yourself on these topics, one of the big things you need to do is make sure that you understand the market you're in. There are a lot of different factors when it comes to this. So if we're looking at something like real estate, you need to be looking at what area you're going to be in. A, B, or C level area as far as the things they have there, the amount of people who live there. You want to be in an area that is growing and isn't too saturated. Here are a couple things I would keep in mind when looking at my market for buying real estate. Number one, supply and demand. This is a simple concept in economics. Everybody should understand this. If there's a high supply, there's going to be a low demand. If there's low demand, there might be a high supply. So you need to also understand that in renting in this different strategy that you're picking: short-term, long-term, mid-term. Those are your three possible strategies or some sort of hybrid. And you need to understand what the demand in that market is for the strategy that you're trying to utilize. Number two, your tenant demographics. You need to understand the rent versus income reality. You need to know what type of people you're going to be marketing to and who your target audience is for your strategy. We need to look at their median income and how much income actually goes to housing. And if people are renting because it's necessary or by choice. All of these things will play together. Median household income and typical rent range will all allow you to price your property effectively so that you can decrease the amount of vacancies you have and can increase your income. Number 3, understanding the regulatory environment is huge. There are a bunch of different regulations and they're all different in individual states, cities, countries, etc. Make sure that you understand what the rules are in your area for what you're trying to do so that you don't end up in a situation where you've bought the house already and now you aren't able to actually move forward with your plan. We actually are having some regulatory issues with the second property. It is a piece of land that we bought and we are doing a new construction house on it. And the city of Atlanta has a bunch of different requirements that we actually thought were resolved before purchasing it, but it has since been almost a year and we're still working through those regulatory issues. So even if you do prepare, sometimes you can't help that the city brings up more things, especially with new construction. It's a lot more likely that you'll have some sort of issue or run into an obstacle since you're building a new structure. If the structure is already there, then most likely you should be fine. And last but certainly not least is your exit strategy. Please have one and please start with it. For me, the baseline exit strategy is meeting at least the 1% rule on a long-term play. So if I want to do short-term renting, mid-term renting, I need to make sure that bare minimum, I can rent this building out and make at least a little bit of cash flow, and if not, break even on it for me to feel comfortable even entering into the deal. Numbers are always greater than your opinion. I do not care what you think about it. I don't care what you think it looks like. I don't care if it feels good. You need to go off of the numbers. The numbers will not lie and they will keep you honest, and it will allow you to protect yourself from any potential mishaps in the future. Now, numbers are data points. We don't know for sure, but we are able to make better predictions if we follow the data. Great investors don't chase markets. They understand them. The first piece to the financial system is the budget. Without the budget, you go nowhere. I don't even want to see anything. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want you to talk to me unless you have a budget. Don't tell me you want to invest and you don't have a budget, because now we're taking steps that we're not ready for. Every purchase, including my new car, was intentional. Nothing I buy ever slows me down because I budget extensively. Do not play with the budget. You follow that thing like your life depends on it, because it does. Your financial health, your mental health, your well-being, all depends on your budget. And that is what's going to make the difference between being good and being great at what you do. Your budget. Every purchase should move you forward, especially when you're doing something like investing, making a huge purchase like real estate. It's a big commitment. So you want to make sure that your money is safe. I have also created a budget template that will be available to you guys at some point, but it's currently still being, built out. I want you guys to be able to enjoy it and to be able to really realize it's a system. It's not a budget. So this is different than probably anything you guys have seen on the market currently. I personally have been using it and I've been personally building it out for over 3 years now. There is a right way to do things. In the meantime, please make sure that you always are budgeting and that is the foundation of your investment journey, because you shouldn't be moving on to the next step before you've done step 1. I personally keep track of every expense every week, and I have monthly reporting. I have yearly reporting. I am able to forecast my budget. I have an income tracker. I have historical data. I have financial analysis that I do with my budget. The second biggest thing for your financial systems will be your credit readiness. Now, it is possible. Don't get me wrong. It's 100% possible to buy a house without having a credit score, but let me tell you, it will be also incredibly difficult. So for most individuals, you will need to have a good credit score to be able to get into your first property. And having a good credit score includes paying your bills on time, if not early. And paying that statement balance in full every month will allow you to have an incredible credit score. Now, I'm going to share with you guys my credit score. I'm in the upper 700s. And that's because I pay on time. I pay my statement balance every month in full. And I never spend on my credit card what I do not have in my bank account. It's just that simple. Third thing for your financial systems that you need to keep in mind is cash flow planning. When you're determining the strategy you want to use as a real estate investor, one of the biggest things is cash flow. It will help you to decide what strategy you want to go with. If you are looking for more of a appreciation play versus cash flow, then you can go with long-term investing. If you're looking for more cash flow and an equal or lesser amount for appreciation, then you go for short term. And if you're looking for something in the middle, then you go for midterm, right? So that's just basic real estate 101. You have to pick your strategy, and usually that is revolved around the cash flow aspect. How much cash are you looking to get now? Me and my family, I think that cash flow is extremely important to us, but so is appreciation, and so is diversification. So every property we have doesn't have the same strategy. There are different strategies for different properties, and it's okay to have that in your portfolio. The same way, if you were investing in a stock market, you would want to diversify the different stocks and investments that you're putting your money into. Is the same thing for real estate. One thing can go well, one thing can go bad, but you want to have at least one thing going well while the other thing is going bad, right? So diversification is good, and so is planning the type of cash flow that you want. As far as the new car, I'll tell you how this fits into the financial system. So, first of all, I want to be very clear. I am the biggest proponent of riding your car until the wheels fall off. Like, ride it until the wheels fall off. I am by no means promoting going out and just buying a new car. It all just kind of worked together and it made sense. So I went forward with it. So to give you some context, I had my car for about 9 years prior, and it was paid off, starting to have little problems like the air not working, and it being an older car, I'm not trying to put a whole bunch of money into it. Naturally, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to get a new car. I was able to take advantage of the different tax strategies you're able to use as a business owner in order to afford paying for the car every month. And I will break that down for you guys in a different video. But to keep it high level, I built out a calculator that allowed me to estimate exactly how much car I'd be able to afford from the money that I'll be getting back from the government due to the business expenses that I've had this year. And so that money will then go towards this car and allow me to pay for it comfortably without having to make any big changes to my budget. Keep your eyes open. Let's keep going together, and we can get you on the same path.